Hello folks, today I'm going to be doing a movie review on the Muppets Wizard of Oz. I had this movie in my collection for a while, but I watched it recently, on computer before it got deleted. I was going to go on there the other day until someone took it off. I have no idea why, but someone just took it off. And when I was a kid, I was a huge fan of the Muppets. It was one of my favorite shows. And also the Muppet Babies was my favorite show. And one time this kid always says he wants to watch Stephen King's movies. And I wanted to watch the Muppets. It was my favorite show. They were on when I was younger. Like around 5 or 4. I still kind of like the Muppets. There was a new Muppet movie I was going to see, but then I ended up, I just didn't like the trailer too much. It's kind of boring. That's all my opinion. It starts off with Dorothy. She works in Aunt diner, and she's been played by Shanti, Queen Latifah's Aunt Em, David Alucreer's Uncle Henry, and Quentin Tarantino is playing as himself, telling all this to Kermit about what should happen next. I was not really a huge fan of him, but he's still he's okay. Sometimes I prefer like the older Muppet movies, like the Christmas Carol and the other ones like that. And Dorothy was bummed about life because she doesn't like living in the Kansas and living in a little trailer. And then she wants to go to the auditions, and she goes, but she's late for the audition, so she gives this demo CD to Kermit, and Miss Piggy says this lame joke about she's gonna listen on Maxwell or something like that, and that was kind of lame. And it is pretty good. It is a good movie for what it is. But I don't have it, but I actually want to get it because I promised Jordan Way I'll upload it for him if I get YouTube's permission. But first I need to get his permission in order to do this. So, and also when Dorothy came back, she's really mad at Uncle Henry and Aunt Em because she's still stuck here. And they tell her what kind of danger things might happen. And then a tornado came, and then she ends up going to Oz. And she meets the Good Witch of the North. Usually it's Glinda in the original. But in this one, Miss Piggy's playing all 4 of the witches. And she said if Dorothy wants to become a superstar singer, she has to go to the Wizard of Oz in Emerald City. So, and they meet Kermit, who does the role of the Scarecrow. Gonzo plays the Tin Man. And then meet Fozzie Bear, who plays the Lion. And there's quite a few songs in there. Not so many, but a few. And there's some that were not... There were some couple songs that were not in the original Wizard of Oz, but then they go to the Poppy Fields club, and then they fall asleep there. Gonzo used a defib unit to bring her back to life. That defib unit kind of reminded me of Left 4 Dead 2, where if one of your players die, you can revive them with that, or you gotta go to any of the closets with one of them in it. And it was like that in the first Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. So yeah. But in the original Wizard of Oz, Glinda used snow and then to wake them up. But instead in this one, Gonzo used the Fimbunin. And then Dorothy's hair went all messy. That was really funny. It's one of my hilarious parts. And then, now I'm wondering where we are. Oh, yeah. They go to the Emerald City, and the Emerald City guard say they can go in. Toto's been played by this prod. He's not really one of my favorite, but he's still okay. And Scooter plays the assistant to the Wizard of Oz, and Miss Piggy's playing as all the witches. And then the wizard says to bring the Wicked Witch of the West's magic eye, and she uses it to see all in Oz. They go to the Mountains of Death. That kind of remind me of Doom Free. There was all these lava mountains and caves. Kind of like one of the levels there, like hell or something like that. And then Miss Piggy, that plays the Wicked Witch of the West on that scene, while the beginning the house fell on the Wicked Witch of the East, she was playing as that. And when she was the Wicked Witch of the West, she was got to send her man-eating wolves. I think they can call like Cujo dogs, Cujo monsters, or they're probably like the werewolves from Twilight. You know, the Twilight saga, where Jacob is a half-human werewolf. If you're not a fan of Twilight, don't go watch Twilight, because I love Twilight. Like, it's really good. And that she was about to send her crows or something, but then the others, they're not available. So they use the flying monkeys, and they shred on Dorothy and Gonzo up. They capture the lion, Toto, and Dorothy, because the witch wants the silver shoes. And then in the witch's castle, she was going to use this kind of death trap, like on Toto, like chopping his head off. But on Dorothy, she's going to cut her legs up. That kind of reminded me of Saw. You know, this guy was been put in traps, and people have to try to find a way to get out of them. Eventually, they will kill you. Sometimes they will kill you, and sometimes eventually they will kill you. So it kind of reminded me of that. And my mom wouldn't let me watch Saw. I have to be like 16 or something like that to watch Saw, and I'm not old enough to watch Saw. And then yeah, and then the lions set Dorothy free, and then they kill the Wicked Witch of the West. They grab the eye, and then they go into back in the Emerald City, and the wizard grant their wishes. Dorothy gets upset because she would wonder how she can get home. They go back to Munchkin Land, and Glinda, the Good Witch of the South, was in this one that got Dorothy home. But Glinda, the Good Witch of the North, in the original, got Dorothy home at Emerald City, not back there. They kind of changed like everything, but it's still okay. It's okay when they change it, but sometimes I just didn't like it too much. And then Dorothy goes back to Kansas with Aunt Em and Uncle Henry, and then they let her go to the auditions, and that's it. That's the end of Muppets Wizard of Oz. So I hope you enjoyed this review. I will be doing Zombieland, which will be next. So see you guys next time. Bye bye.